I'm having a really bad one again today. Oh, yesterday was such a good day. I felt so great. I had made such a breakthrough, and I don't want to feel like I've lost that breakthrough. And I hope I won't have, but you know, I'm not sure that I'm really gonna find making this video as soothing and helpful as I usually do. I'm pretty much gagged by civil court. And my brain is not. I don't know how to word things without. I mean, it seems like civil court is just as bonkers as the tenancy tribunal. It really does. I don't know if there's any sane tribunal or court, to be honest. I really don't. I've received a civil court order to stop doing what I'm doing without defining what I'm doing. There was some sort of nod to the fact that I have freedom of speech under, well, presumably under the Bill of Rights Act. But the nod to that was simply to dismiss it, which is a rhetorical trick. People think that if they mention something, then they've kind of, it's like licking the donut, you know, like I've licked the donut, you can't eat it now. And I did respond to the Deputy Registrar to say, well, because I've learned that that rhetorical trick doesn't, just because you mention, oh well, there is this, and it's like, well, now that you've mentioned it, it means that it's off limits and no one else can mention it. And it's like, well, no, I am mentioning it actually because I do have freedom of speech under the Bill of Rights Act. And the HDCA which is what it comes under. I think it's really I'm having a panic attack, basically. I went out for a walk, not because I expected it to soothe me, because you saw what going out does to me, but just because I really need to come back inside from being outside, and it's just about 10 o'clock now, so I've got to start settling down. Motel rules, really, thin walls, and I had to get out. And one of the main problems is, like, I understand legislation very well. Lawyers and judges don't. I'm afraid to say they just don't. Literally nobody will pay a jot of attention to all of the medical letters that I've sent. And I'm always delighted with people when I first meet them, and I was delighted with my new lawyer, but I barely know her, and it's not her fault because she's really just been roped in out of the goodness of her heart to take me on at the last minute. But she's on annual leave. I've fought probably too hard to keep in her good books, to get a freaking response out of her about what my criminal trial is going to include, because the case review hearing judge appeared to want to override my rights to a jury for the third charge, and indicated tacking it onto the end of the judge alone trial, which has been set, the date has been set for February. My lawyer, whom I've had really no contact with, no substantive contact with, and to be clear, I've had no legal advice whatsoever since entering legal aid on the 10th of July. It's 18 December. It's like 5 months. I don't know how courts conscience this. Even, whether I've committed the crimes I've been accused of or not, it doesn't matter. Everyone's entitled to a fair trial. It's in the Bill of Rights Act, and it's in a number of other, it's in the fucking Criminal Procedure Act, it's in fucking everything. And no one gives a shit about a fair trial. I'm supposed to know what things are, and no one fucking tells me. I ask just tell me what the trial is and how long it is, and then I get two sources of information. One of them is my lawyer, another one's some fucking address that I've never heard of at court. I don't know, no sign off or anything that was obviously forwarded from another email address that I'd asked from, explaining to me what a trial is and what my bail conditions are. And it's like, I know what a trial is and I know what my bail conditions are. I'm asking what the fuck is in the fucking trial. They said your counsel will answer those questions, and I said, my counsel's on annual leave, dude. Like, why do you think I'm asking? Like, do you think I'm going to have a happy Christmas? You guys just fuck off over Christmas, and it's like, oh well, never mind, your counsel will tell you after Christmas. It's like, she's back a month before my trial, and I'm one of probably 50 of her clients, and we haven't discussed my case at all. And the least you can do is fucking tell me what it's about and how long it's going to be, so I can fucking prepare. Because I know I'm the only one who's going to be doing any work on my case. And my lawyer, because she doesn't know me, and it's not her fault, but I don't know why lawyers all seem to think that the charges are all there is to know about a case. It's like really weird. It's like, well, we'll just we'll just make up we'll find some excuses for what you did. It's like, but I didn't do it. Like, have you considered that? And then she started off saying, we'll practice, you giving your version of events. And it's like, what do you mean my version of events? I've got fucking documentary evidence. Or why do you think I don't have proof? Like, it's so fucking weird that these assumptions are made, and I just think all legal aid lawyers are just phoning it in. I don't think any of them actually fucking care. I really don't. I don't think they can care. And she even indicated conceiving of some possibility that I might change my not guilty plea to guilty. It's like, why would I do that when I'm not guilty? It's so fucking fucked up. And then, and I was just getting that civil order this morning, and it's like, at the very beginning, I was just like, fuck it, I'm not having anything to do with it. It's beneath me. And no, judge, whoever you are, I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm allowed to talk about my own life. If anyone identifies themselves, then you've outed yourself. But just absolutely fucking bonkers stuff, and no one is going to obey the law in the Ministry of Justice. No one's going to obey the law. No one's got the slightest interest of obeying the law in the Ministry of Justice. And so I'm back to, I just have to die, because otherwise police are just going to keep arresting me for things I haven't done, that they're not allowed to arrest me for, and I'm going to get treated like shit. I'm going to be treated like the criminal. Case review hearing judges think that you've done it, and they don't even know that they think that, and they don't even know that they're not allowed to think that. They only look at the side of the charges. They only look at the charges. They don't look at the other side when they review and when they're deciding what to do about the cases. They just look at the charges, and it's like, but the charge could have nothing to fucking to do with it, fucking anything. Like, potentially it could just be a fucking completely insane charge that has nothing to do with an actual crime that was committed. You know what I mean? Like, it is just so scary. Like, we don't have an adversarial justice system. We have an insane asylum where I assume I'm going to become Soylent Green. I hope so. Like, I hope something comes of my pathetic life. I hope that I become something for somebody to eat and make some good use out of, because my life's fucking over. My life's trash. I'm just very sad. Like, literally nobody cares about what happens to me. There's nobody, like, you always think there's something to fall back on. I've got nothing. I talk to other people and they're like, I mean, this is happening to everybody, it's not just millennials, they're like ditching and going back to family homes, and I mean, there are people who are all kinds of horrible disasters. I met a guy in the backpackers who was in a not terribly dissimilar legal bind than I was, but I mean much worse. But not dissimilar in effect. And unfortunately he was stranded here from another country, and had no income and was selling off all his, and he had built quite an estate for himself. I shouldn't say an estate, it's not like he's died, but like he's built up quite well, I guess it's an estate, I don't know. He had really built something up for himself, and he's selling his absolutely, he sold his house, he's selling off bits and pieces of his business, which I won't say what it is, but it's really so heartbreaking for him just to try and survive here, and police have bailed him to somewhere that he has to stay, but he's got no income, and his trial's not for 3 years, and it's like, this country, they used to call psychopathy moral insanity, and that's not the worst description, but I'm not going to call this psychopathic, but I'm just going to say that our justice system is morally insane. There is just no rhyme or reason to how it treats people. There's no presumption of innocence. No, there's none. And torture is utterly forbidden. It is utterly forbidden. And we're tortured. We're just completely tortured. I mean, this is extreme torture. And then they go, talk to your doctor. It's like, what is my doctor going to do about human rights violations? I'm so sick of it. It's like, you're passing the buck to my fucking doctor, to mental health services. They're not human rights lawyers. It's just disgusting. We have a Human Rights Act, we have a Crimes Act. The thing that gets me is that if I'm charged with causing harm under the Harmful Digital Communications Act, aren't these fucking prosecutors admitting that people can experience severe mental distress without having a mental disorder because someone else has done it to them? Do they not understand that? So why don't they understand that of me? The fact that the victim is lying is neither here nor there when it comes to the act, the act itself. Like, if you have crimes that cause harm, it's the crime, it's not the person's mental health, right? Or if it is the person's mental health, it's a completely normal mental health response to being treated in a way that we find so abhorrent that we call it a crime. But I'm supposed to put up with it for 2 years, and if I don't like it, I can talk to a counsellor through my GP. And they won't let me kill myself. I do have plans. Yesterday I was thinking, I don't need to. But I've got to make sure that I've got an ejector button. Things are just, literally anything can happen to me, because literally anything does. I've been reading Lilo reviews, and I've just been reading all the worst ones first, not because I'm trying to do a confirmation bias, but I'm just trying to see if the people who have given really bad reviews had similar experiences to mine. And a lot of them have, and 2 people had been escorted off one person had been kicked out, like I had, for nothing, and someone had presumably Farhan, walking into their bedroom like he owned the place, made them really uncomfortable. I think they're getting undressed. And another person, a pensioner, she said, it's horrible that pensioners had been escorted off the property by police because they called police. It's like, you can't, calling police on people who haven't committed a crime should be a crime. And police should be fucking charged as co-conspirators as well. You can't escort someone off the property because they're standing up for their fucking rights to receive the booking that they're fucking paid for. Having a dispute with management about your fucking booking when you've just arrived in the fucking country and need someone to sleep for the night, it's not a crime. Just because management doesn't want you there, it doesn't mean they can remove you. You have a contract. And what police need to do is go, okay, well, there's a problem here, but this is a civil matter, it's not for police. I don't know what the fuck police are doing these days, but they're just running around victimising people. They're just a big gang. They're just a gang of thugs. And that's why I feel like I need to die primarily, because at any moment I just feel like I'm going to be accused of doing something that I haven't done, and Policing Act be darned, Evidence Act be darned. No one cares about the law, no one knows about the law. Our entire justice system gives not one fucking hoot about the law. And that's very, 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 very frightening, especially when I'm surrounded by people who are utterly indifferent to the suffering of others. It's like, why do I want to even be in this world? So I'm getting to that stage again where I'm finding it very, very, very difficult to do my daily tasks, and I've finally asked if I can. I have to pay for this. I don't want to pay for it because I've got my own meds container but I'm not coping. Like, I'm not managing to put my meds together. I'm just taking meds randomly. I can't organise myself. I'm really, really struggling. I'm falling apart. And the idea that I'm going to have to, as a very, very, very severely abused victim, very, very, very severely abused victim, that I have to go into criminal court and be abused by prosecution and see my abusers and they're doing crocodile tears, and having the judge treat me like I'm guilty, and my own lawyer not knowing a fucking thing about me. And as I've written, I might even get contempt of court because the nature of my congenital and secondary psychiatric neurological problems means that I'm going to be behaving in ways that are going to look like I'm misbehaving, but I'm going to be traumatised. And it's just a snowball rolling into hell, basically. Things have been done to me that no one believes. That's how bad they are. People don't believe me. I felt so great yesterday. I hope I feel great again. But I've just got things piling and piling and piling and piling and piling up. And seeing that legal stuff yesterday just knocked me for six. Like, it's a massive PTSD trigger. I'm ticking half the boxes under the Human Rights Act disability section, and no one gives a shit. And courts and tribunals are specifically, this is a specific section devoted to courts and tribunals. You have to give people equal rights under the law. I've got no rights. I've got literally no rights under the law. I've just got people's whims. If a copper feels like fucking venting a spleen, they know where to find a sitting duck. Well, they don't exactly. But they can issue a warrant, and I've emailed everybody under the planet. Do not fucking put a warrant out. Just get in touch with me. Because I don't know, like, when the next lie is gonna occur and give someone a fucking excuse to come and beat me up and then claim I'm resisting arrest. This is not a life. This is not a life. And there's just so much hatred. There's so much hatred for people. All I get is hatred. It's breaking my heart. Can't do it. on my own.